The sales figures and the numbers are finally officially in. We now know what the best-selling cars in Europe are for the first 2 months of the year. I'm not talking electric cars here. I'm just talking car market in general. But, well, surprisingly or unsurprisingly, considering, depending on who you ask, there is an electric car in first place in Europe. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. It's great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. My name's Sam Evans and I'm coming to you from Bangkok in Thailand. The best-selling car in Europe. Well, you're probably thinking of something like a Volkswagen Golf. It used to be. I mean, last year, the last 10 years, in fact, it usually was the Volkswagen Golf. You know, Peugeot 208, that's now superseded the Golf. It sells more 208s than Golfs. Neither of those made the top 3 bestsellers in Europe for the first 2 months of the year. Best-selling car, January and February of this year, and I believe March as well, but we don't have the official numbers yet, but I believe March was a clear and easy win for the Tesla Model Y. Yes, Tesla is in first place in Europe. This is across the entirety of the European Union. Tesla beat a much, much cheaper gasoline-powered car. Now, looking at the official sales numbers for the first 3 months of the year, I've had a look at sales in 10 out of 11 different countries, and actually Tesla is winning electric car sales in 10 of those 11 countries. The only country they're not leading in is France, surprisingly, but they are winning in every single other car market, in many cases by more than double. In Norway, Tesla actually has a nearly 40% of the entire car market with basically one car. How does that even happen? Anyhow, Europe's best-selling model this year so far is the Tesla Model Y. In second place was the Dacia Sandero. Now, the Dacia Sandero is a very cheap, affordable, about a $15,000 budget-priced car. Very, very cheap, very, very affordable. Not very big, but it suits a lot of people, a lot of people's needs. When you see EVs, right, there's going to be EVs soon. There's already EVs in China, right, that are way better than Dacia Sandero for $15,000. Once they start coming, it's going to be interesting to see how these gasoline-powered cars go. I think they're going to probably lose market share pretty quickly. However, for the first 2 months of the year, the Sandero came second to the Model Y. Tesla sold 18,153 Model Ys. In February, that was an increase of 167% on the same month last year. But from the numbers that I've seen, Tesla actually sold even more Model Ys in the month of March. Now, we don't have the official figures for March yet, but I'm pretty sure they outsold that number. There was a few ships waiting in certain ports. One of them was Portugal, where Tesla was actually asking buyers to come and get their car from the docks because it was just too many cars for Tesla to offload. And they were like, hey, why don't we just save some money, get customers come here straight to the dock, pick it up from the dock. We didn't have to pay for delivery fees and everything else that's involved in transporting the cars, etc. Pretty smart move if you ask me. 167% increase in sales. That's massive. Dacia, they had 18,000 sales, just under the Model Ys. That was an increase of 37% on the same month last year. Now, these numbers actually come from not only the European Union, but also from the UK and from ETFA countries. So the top selling car in Europe in January was the Sandero, but because the Model Y beat it in February, it was able to take out the winning lead for the first 2 months of the year. Third place, Volkswagen TRoc and the Peugeot 208 fought it out. And, well, like the Sandero, the TRoc couldn't maintain its lead. So Volkswagen fell from third to fourth. The 208 topped the small SUV by 27 units, 15,667 and 15,640 to end the month in the number 3 position. Now, interesting. You might think, well, you know, surely the Volkswagen Group, the all-powerful or almighty Volkswagen Group would dominate Europe. That's what all the people say on Inside EVs. You see the comments there, they're always like Volkswagen, the holy grail, they're kings, they're wonderful. Everything the Volkswagen do, they're so great. I've seen that by a lot of people who love the Volkswagen Group brands, which is surprising to me that they still have so many fans after all the dodgy things they've done over the last few years, but they do. Hey, at least they are making more of an effort to make EVs than Toyota or Japanese automakers, so that's a good thing. But the truth is that Volkswagen don't have any EVs in the top selling cars in Europe. None, not one. The TRoc was ahead of the Opel Vauxhall Corsa which came in fifth place with 15,000 deliveries as well. Now, Volkswagen actually did finish the month with 3 vehicles in the top 10. They had the Golf compact hatchback at number 8, and then the Tiguan in number 10. So they had number 5, number 8, and number 10. Every single one of those, of course, was a gasoline or petrol-powered vehicle. Dacia had 2 models in the top 10, with the Duster, the small SUV, coming in 7th place, joining the Sandero in 2nd place. As you can see, Dacia is doing pretty well. In February, 9 of the models in the top 10 recorded sales increases, according to Dataforce's figures. The only exception was the Volkswagen Golf, which lost 11% share. Now, the Golf was actually the best-selling car in Europe for many, many years, until last year, when it lost that position. The other cars in the top 50 with big gains in February were the Peugeot 308, which was up 100%, the Ford Focus up 50%, and the Volkswagen ID3 and Taygo with 140% and 100% respectively. But the vehicle that had the biggest gain versus the same month last year, and in fact versus the first 2 months of last year, was the Tesla Model Y, an increase of an incredible 167%. What is even more amazing is the fact that many of Tesla's ships didn't dock until March. I believe Tesla will easily eviscerate its numbers in February and January in the month of March alone. Seriously. Sounds crazy, but Tesla will more than likely wrap up the sales crown for first place in Europe by mid-year, at which point they'll more than likely have an unassailable lead. At least that's from the preliminary numbers that I've been seeing over the past 7 days. That's pretty cool if you ask me. An EV in first place in Europe, especially when the other 9 cars, unfortunately, are all gasoline powered. Thank you for watching, my friends, and I'll see you again on the next video. Bye-bye.